Okay. Let's see. Welcome to the domestic terrorism show, ladies and gentlemen. Where the city is just marinated in sensitization. Excuse me, if that's the right word, sensitization, sensitized. The city where you can be sensitized, put it like that. Domestic terrorism at an all-time high, ladies and gentlemen, right here, San Jose, California. People put their kids on the front line. That's the question of the day. The question of the day is, how do you think the parent of that child, that 14-year-old, how does that parent feel right now? How does that parent feel knowing that the police just swept their 14-year-old son under the rug like that? Where they paid a nice, chunky piece of hush money, which no amount of money is really suitable for corrupt police sweeping your dead child under the rug. But then you as a parent, maybe to satisfy your own guilt, decide to accept the hush money and attempt to drown your fucking sorrows in fucking materialistic bullshit, which in the end won't really work because you'll still go to sleep every night and wake up every morning knowing that you put your 14-year-old child on the front line for the police department. Not only for the police department, but just out of your own stupidity. Literally sending your child up to a ticking time bomb. How do you know they're ticking time bombs? Well, I've been going through this shit for 11 years, and they still send fucking kids at me. I know. You know, I might not be fucking a faulty time bomb, like I might not go off, but you know, the potential is still fucking there. 11 years of psychological fucking warfare. I could fucking just say I'm tired of this shit at any given minute. Though I would never direct my anger at a child. smart enough to know that they have nothing really to do with it. You know, they're just doing it for mom, doing it for dad. You know, but shit, I'm not everybody, and everybody ain't me. Everybody handles this shit different. The question is, how are you gonna handle it if you put your child on the front line for the police? Are you gonna let the police sweep it under the rug? Or are you gonna say something about it? Are you gonna say enough is enough? Because children aren't the only targets. Oh shit, let me see. Hey, what's going on, Ross? Children aren't the only targets. I mean, I shouldn't say targets. Since we are the targets, you know, children aren't gonna be the only ones that, you know, targeted individuals wreak their havoc on. Like that, you know, that was somebody, you know, whoever took his anger out on that child, you know, that was, you know, even though I would never do it to a child, I understand his point. Like, I understand what he was doing. You know, he wanted to, he wanted to show the motherfuckers, like, you know, if you're gonna fucking put your kid out here to fucking harass me, then I'll show you. Probably tried fucking to call the police so many times on his fucking harassers. This every targeted individual knows. You know, you try and fucking you know, get some assistance, some help with this fucking bullshit harassment, and the police just fucking placate you and laugh at you over the phone and think it's a fucking joke, and that's not illegal. Do you know these people? No, and run you through a bunch of fucking head games and ask you if you're on medication and are you willing to take a psychological evaluation. Nobody else in the world has to go through that when they make a police report. Psychological evaluations. I remember people used to just fuck, man, there used to be one time, at one time, people used to fucking just call the police and say something happened to them, and the police would round up everybody on that block and fucking then do a fucking outside fucking a lineup, if you will, like fucking have you out there for 45, 50 minutes sitting on the fucking curb while they got the fucking person identifying you in the back of a fucking police car with tinted windows and shit. Yet you gotta go jump through hoops and shit. You're fucking being tailed and you're fucking, you know, and being harassed and terrorized, and the police want to sit over the phone and make jokes with you and shit. So, you know, when you're at that level and you're like, fuck it, nobody's gonna help me. I understand what he was doing. Like, I understand his mindset. Like, nobody gonna help me. These motherfuckers want to send their fucking kids out here. Okay, I'll fucking show them. You want to keep fucking playing with me? I'll show you motherfuckers. You feel me? And even, like I said, even though I wouldn't do it, I can't fault him for that. You know, it's sad that a 14-year-old had to lose his life, but at the same time, you know, psychological warfare is not a game. If they want to play war games, you know, some countries and shit, they put bombs in the diapers of babies and send them at you. And shit that's basically what they did. You know, they sent the baby at a fucking time bomb, an organic time bomb. You know, it might have been a teenager, but you know, in reality, it's still a baby. Like 14 years old, that's a fucking baby. saying all that to say, you know, they can call that man a monster. They can call any one of us a monster, but the reality of psychological warfare is the psychology. Like, we don't even know. Like, we're up against the people that fucking know the psycho. They know how to work the psyche. Like, we fucking just exist. Like, we know what we know and shit, other than the shit that we fucking learn about narcissists or shit like that. Unless one of us, unless any of us have been to those schools, those psychology fucking schools and shit, for the most part, we don't know how the mind works. We know very little of how the mind works. These people know how to fucking wake shit up, and they know how to get to them file cabinets in the back of your fucking head. They know how to exploit them like a motherfucker. They can, and they got the tactics. They know the tactics. People have been through many, 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 many years of suffering. Scalps fucking took off the top of their heads with all types of fucking gadgets and shit on their brain with open skulls, and we're dealing with wicked people. Wicked fucking people. Hey, Tanya. Rev passed away. That is a TI that comes on. What? Or Rev. Does he have more to his name, Rose? It sounds familiar, but it sounds like Rev it doesn't. It sounds like there's something. Kevin Baker. Hey, Tip. Hey, has anybody heard from Awaken? I know they said she was going through some things yesterday, I believe. They kicked in her door or something. Nice to see. Hey, back at you, Tanya. Yup, it's like we're sitting in a bubble just waiting on the next big event. The next big event. This is supposed to be a very, well, I guess to certain people, I'm not gonna say it is, but this is supposed to be like a real demonic year. I guess some type of demonic. This every month of this year is supposed to be like some type of fucking ritualistic month. 2022, some type of that magnet. Yeah, definitely. I was gonna put a week on it, but I'm gonna do a little bit longer for the deadline. For everybody to let me know what's going on. I'll do another video like in a week, and see how many people got them, or are in the process of getting them. Then I'll get the PO box, because I'm not gonna have the PO box that long. That's what. So I need kind of like everybody to, send them like within the same frame of amount of time, like in the same, in the same time frame. Fuck it, I figure they want to scratch it on. They want to scratch this motherfucker up. I might as well put it to use and shit. Might as well put this motherfucker to use. Excuse me, that's legitimate, you guys. Yeah, Snappy Awaken is still waiting to get her door fixed. Wow. Damn, they still haven't fixed that shit, man. This shit ain't right, man. It sounds like fuck. It sounds like in the UK, like, I don't even know. Do they even go by? Did they even go by our constitution and shit? Like, it seems. Excuse me. That's legitimate. It seems like they have no fucking constitution out there in the UK, man. The way they just be snatching people's fucking children left and right off of what a fucking piece of shit. Those psychologists fucking kill me, man. Cause, that's just a job, and they be acting like they're not human. They probably go through way more shit with their fucking children than half of the people's children they take away from them and shit. Like, it's just fucking crazy how people can do that, man. Strip a child away from their fucking family. I understand if you're being beat or some fucking shit like that, but when you're genuinely being taken care of, and they literally got people out here fucking homeless with their kids and shit. Living in fucking tents and shit with their kids, and it's crazy. Like, they'll go to a good house. They'll go to somebody with a job, a house. The parents might be in an argument or something, and the neighbor calls, or the parents arguing and shit, and fucking take the child behind that shit. Child kicking and screaming, don't want to fucking leave. Want to stay home with the mom and dad. Like, if a child's been beaten and shit, they want to get out of the fucking house immediately and shit. But they'll take a fucking child in a perfectly good environment, yet they'll fucking let a child stay with the fucking parents around fucking drugs and all types of shit out here. It's crazy, man. Everything is wicked out here. I don't know. It's just being targeted. I think going through this fucking program, it shows you how much wicked these people do. in the name of good. Like, they try and hide behind good notions and shit. Like, they're cleaning up the streets and all that type of weird shit. But yet they conduct all this fucking, like, they literally create more crime than there was on the streets. Like, there was pretty much no crime without them. Like, they supersized the crime rate. Really supersized the murder rate. Like, they got the murder rate sky high. It's not funny, but damn, man. Like, how do you tell the people you're cleaning up the streets, yet you got people killing people? You're driving people to the point of, at the very least, causing physical harm to other people who may be innocent, other people who just might be happen to have a burnt out headlight legitimately. Like, how can you sensitize all these people to all these harassment and psychological warfare tactics, and then just leave the fucking general public out there to fucking, like, it's like they're bait. It's like they're bait, because I'm not the only targeted individual, and it's crazy how they make a lot of us homeless and a lot of us, you know, on the streets, and we lose our jobs, and because we're out here and we're able to see all the shit they sensitize us to. You know, this is a big ass fucking world, man. So eventually, one of us is gonna see a legitimate person with a fucking headlight out, and it's gonna be at that very time, at that very moment. You know, 9 times out of 10 we're being trailed, and they're gonna shoot aggression frequencies and shit at us, however they choose to play it. Because you know, when they're taunting you, which the trigger is the taunt. Like, the one headlight is the taunt. Like, when they let air out my tires, or they did a scratch, they follow me with one headlight, and that shit would piss me off, because I would know they're following me to fucking do something else to my van. And it's like, that's 11-year buildup, man. This has been going on for 11 fucking years. You think, like, I know me, and I know I don't want to go off. I don't want to, but this is psychological warfare, so I don't know when the fuck that fucking beast is gonna come out that they're fucking building in my subconscious. I don't know. They're yanking that motherfucker out. You know, to the best, like, literally, fuck. Like, I damn it, like, when they fucking were running that fucking bullshit on my dogs, like, they've calmed down on it and shit. Because, you know, luckily they've calmed down on it and shit, man. But, you know, when they were running those fucking microwaves, man, and I thought my dogs were fucking finna die, like, I was, like, you know, I didn't know where the fuck I was getting, like, I didn't know what I was gonna do, literally. Like, I was going over all types of shit in my head. I was planning how I was gonna fight it. I was looking in the fucking, you know, in the fucking phone for lawyers that fucking, you know, wouldn't accept money. You know, that wouldn't accept money until they beat the case and shit. I was trying to find those type of motherfuckers to where if I got locked up, I could call the fuckers, man. Like, you know, and that's so saying all that to say, like, you know, I've been able to sit and fucking talk myself and calm myself down, and, you know, get a little bit more relaxation out the situation now that my dogs aren't all fucking miserable and fucking, doing all that fucking weird shit, whatever those fucking microwaves and frequencies are doing to them and shit. Like, just, they be having that miserable look, and it's like fucking kids, man. You can't do shit, and normally I could take them to a vet and all that fucking bullshit, but these vets and all these fucking people are with that fucking bullshit, man. And it's only after these fucking weird ass fucking police that fucking are hacked into our phones with that fucking bullshit, and all these fucking weirdos with the knowledge and the fucking spy apps and technology that hack into our phones, we call the fucking vets. And the vet's total perfectly a perfectly normal fucking vet. You talk to them and they're fucking nice, and everything's good, fine and fucking dandy until you get there, and then they start acting all fucking weird with you, and fucking Lord knows what the fucking police have told them to turn them fucking people against you. But man, they fucking turn people against you. Like, they'll be jolly as fuck on the phone, happy to fucking serve you, like complete unbelievable, the greatest fucking customer service phone representative you fucking ever heard in your life, until you fucking get there, and then it's a whole different story. You get all these weird ass fucking looks and people talking about shit that just so it's like, damn, man, you can't fucking do anything. So saying all that to say, it's no telling when they're gonna yank that beast. And we all have it. Like, it's good. Like, we're good fucking people. I believe that, all of us that have been targeted, like, at least from everybody that's been on here, I can't see us doing anything to fucking be on this program the way they have us on this program. If any of us were under any type of investigation, I know me, myself, well, I keep saying 11 years, but it's probably more than that now. But just so I don't exaggerate, we'll keep it at 11. For as long as I've been going through this shit, if this was an investigation, this is an 11-year investigation. It's not a fucking cold case. The investigation has been on fucking going. Not only has the investigation been ongoing, but you've been trying to entrap me along the way. So you can definitely see that I'm not doing anything illegal at all. You can try, you can try and say I'm selling drugs and all that, but you see, like, you see me every day fucking recycling faithfully, so, there's no amount of fucking drugs in the world that would fucking take me away from fucking, it may be, maybe a long time ago and shit, but, to me, my life is way, way, way more precious than fucking getting out there and selling something that's gonna tear down somebody else's life. Like, I could fucking, there's plenty of other things I can fucking do. I don't need to go to jail for fucking killing off somebody else. Like, that's, like, better. And for the amount of time they're gonna give you and shit, these days, you better off catching a murder than a drug case. And everybody selling drugs that they haven't put out there to sell drugs, if you're not no fucking informant, they know. You might think they don't know, but they know. let's see. Uh, I'm not sure. Strong. I haven't seen Strong. I haven't seen a couple people. Even RTTI New York. I've been trying to reach him. Can't reach him for nothing. Hey, salute, K Cole. Death by 1,000 cuts, exactly, man. You know they chip at it. They chip away at us. They chip away at us, man. I mean, so much. I can only imagine, bro. Seeing the people, even with, even with. I know this is gonna sound kind of way off, but with the music. Excuse me. That's legitimate. I'm into music. Well, not so much like that anymore, but like when you're doing music and shit, the psychology, I don't know what it is, but like it should be just the fucking song. Like if you hear the fucking song, if you like it, that should be enough to fucking make you wanna purchase or whatever. But it's like a fact that people will not like. If a person does like if you hear a song and you don't like that song, and later on they do a video to that song, and you see that video, like there's a good chance that you'll end up liking that song after you hear the video. For some fucking reason. And they know that. So that's what, it's crazy how shit works. They know that, so they charge. They charge a lot of fucking money to do fucking videos. I mean, unless you have, connections or what have you, but, they charge a lot of money for that fact because they know the visual is 9 times, like, you could see the video once and then hear that song every time without seeing that video, and you'll fucking like that song after you didn't like it. And that's kind of probably like it is with this targeting, man. We need to give people more visuals of what's going on. Like, people need to fucking see the burns. People need to see the scars. People need to see the Morgellons that fucking the doctors are calling them delusional because, we're the only ones that go into those fucking doctors. Like the people who say if you got Morgellons and you're fucking leaking and you got fucking open sores fucking with fibers and shit coming out, and the doctor's calling you delusional. Like everybody in the waiting room and all that shit, it's just between the doctors and you. So you're left with fucking being called delusional and shit. Meanwhile, everybody's looking at fucking all this fucking bullshit and shit popping out your fucking face because they want to shoot fucking microwaves and tease whatever fucking chemtrail Morgellon fibers you got fucking all in your body and shit, and make them just bust out at will. Like none of this shit, it's all fucking, it's compressed into fucking you and the doctors and whoever you tell, which 9 times out of 10, whoever you tell is gonna think you're crazy. They're gonna say the doctor didn't turn you away, you just didn't go, or you're not telling us something. The doctor didn't call you delusional for that though. The doctor, if I can see that, I know the doctor saw it. So it's not even really, you can't even, like, so you gotta be able to just show fucking people, man, what the fuck is going on. That's the only way they'll be able to fucking, you gotta give them a visual. It's like fucking, it's like a book, damn near. Like, most people prefer to read books with fucking pictures and shit. You know, some people, if it don't have any pictures, they don't want shit to do with the book. They don't want a damn thing to do with the book. So they take to fucking magazines and shit. They take the magazines and shit. You see more people reading magazines than you see them reading books, that's for sure. A person, until you really start reading books, until you start reading books and shit, you're gonna choose the fucking magazine over the book. And that's just the way our brains are trained, pretty much. Yeah, these people are evil. They use what they used on your dogs on me all day long. It's basically active denial system on my brain. We're not supposed to condemn, but boy, I'm glad they are damned. Yeah, man. You know, that shit, bro, that they do with those microwaves, bro. That shit is no fucking joke, man. That shit is no joke. Like on us, like it has effects on us and shit. But what it does to people's animals and shit, and then when they send aggression frequencies, like that's why, like, I don't think I probably, like, if I got a dog and I like fucking, I like pit bulls, I like Doberman, like I like aggressive type of dogs. Like I don't train them to be like I just like protective dogs. Like that's the type of dogs that I like. The reason why I got Chihuahuas. The whole reason I got Chihuahuas, man, is because I was fucking, that was a part of change in my life for me. Like I was like, I got rid of everything, the fucking like everything, all the street stuff, the gold teeth, the fucking, all that fucking street shit, the street mentality. Like I wanted to be fucking separated from that shit, so I wasn't trying to get any pit bulls or anything, no aggressive type of dog. Like I had plenty of chances to get those type of dogs and shit. I waited till like the Chihuahua the Chihuahua came my way, and I fucking got the Chihuahuas. And they ended up being a lot worse, I think, than a fucking bigger dog would be. Like more of a, more the aggression. The aggression shit is just like like it's like no other dog, but that I've owned. Like I've owned like pit bulls and shit like that, and it's just like Chihuahuas, man. They're fucking, they'll bark at bugs. Like they don't, what do you call it? Discriminate at whatever. Like they're definitely like good alarms. But saying all that to say, I tried to separate all the street shit that I knew, and just do a whole fucking turnaround, like on changing my life and shit. And they used to tease me with that and shit, and my targeting and shit. Like, and it kind of fucked with me, but I was still like, I don't care about that shit to a point, because they used to always have women and shit walking with fucking big ass pit bulls and just the type of dogs that I liked and shit. Like they used to, they used to have women and shit walking with them and shit, big ass aggressive looking dogs and shit. And it was just funny. Like, I knew they were trying to tap into my fucking psychology with that bullshit. And yeah, I don't think I could. I don't think I would, as being targeted and shit. I don't think I could probably get a big dog unless it was like a Labrador, Dalmatian, or probably not even the Dalmatian, because Dalmatians are pretty aggressive. But like a fucking Labrador, or fucking, like, it would have to be something like that, like a sheepdog, like the sheep. Like the collies and shit. It would have to be something like that, man, because they fucking send the right dog the wrong frequency as far as that aggression shit goes. And wow, it'd be over with, man. Dog teeth, they're nothing to fucking play with. Oh man. I'm flicking through the comments. This app, it always scrolls down. They're making me. Hey, Pat. The we don't already, though. Can't forget is that's why we're the. Wait, hold on. I think I'm missing something. Hey, okay, here we go. Hanging in there exposed another fake TI on YouTube. Their agenda is to isolate and mock with evidence. Mock evidence. Yeah, bro. And the thing is, they try and detour us. That's another one of their detouring tactics and shit. Now that I've been fucking telling everybody that this is, this program is white supremacy and Chinese terrorism and shit. Like, they've been trying to entrap me and shit. Try and make it to the point to where, like, I say something to all the fucking, like, they've been sending, like, when I park, they send a lot. They've been sending a lot of fucking Chinese people my way. And I know what they want me to do. They want me to, but see, they're not gonna entrap me like that. You're not gonna make me seem like I just hate fucking Chinese people, because that's not even the fucking issue at all. But they want to make it seem like it. They tell the fucking, they have old ones, young ones. They've been having all Chinese people come by with their dogs and stop by my van so my dogs go nuts and shit. But thank God for the fucking bullhorn, huh? Where, don't have to direct your person. You don't have to direct your conversation at any one person. They know who you're talking about. They know exactly who you're talking about. And so does everybody else around you. You know? Especially the one headlights and the one tail lights. Whenever they get in front of me and shit, I don't, unless they get behind me and I can get to a red light and get out and film them and shit. Like, all I have to do is tell everybody around me what that fucking one headlight is designed for. And I know for the most part, most of the people around are, the same people pushing this program, but I also know that there's a good portion of people that have no idea what this program is about. They've been seeing all these vehicles drive by with one headlight, brand new fucking cars. They've been noticing their neighbors getting new fucking cars, Teslas. This is a neighbor they used to live next door to for fucking 10, probably 15 fucking years. Always drove a fucking Toyota Camry. All of a sudden, this fucker has a fucking Tesla. And he's fucking rushing out that fucking house every fucking 5 minutes, hopping in his car. Probably thinking he's on drugs or she's on drugs and shit as many times as they have to run out their fucking house and hop in the car and chase people down and shit. Like, so there are people getting the grip. They're starting to realize. There are people who are fucking wanting answers for that VTA guy. They probably know the guy and know that guy wouldn't go fucking do that for no fucking reason. There's some people who know they're just fucking afraid to come out because they don't want to lose their fucking jobs and shit. And that's understandable and shit. And then not only do you run the risk of losing your fucking job, which you will probably lose your job, because it's they're gonna get rid of you, unless you're like, take that shit to court, and even still, I wouldn't even fight for that job. Like, what the fuck is gonna happen to you after you fucking, if you say something, what's gonna happen. The consequences. You're not no fucking spring chicken, especially when you work there and you've been working there for years. You got friends that participate. At the very least, they're talking to you about it, trying to get you to fucking join, if they haven't gotten you to join already. There's a lot of people in there that regret that, man, dying, but they're afraid to fucking come out because they know they were a part of it, and if they say anything, they'll be fucking incriminating themselves and shit. Like they're at catch what is it? Catch 101? Catch 101 or some shit like that. Yeah, catch 22. They in the catch 22. They're feeling real fucked up right now. And that's why that's the number one reason this program is designed. This program is designed to lock everybody into something. Once you even a person that may think they're getting into this program for good, every person for sure, every person that thought they were getting into this program for good right before that fucking, before the VTA guy did what he had to do, they probably thought they were doing a really good thing. And now they're probably going nuts inside of their head right now. After hearing about the 14-year-old in Miami, it's like, excuse me, that's legitimate. If you're just a regular person, you're probably just you're gonna tie that in with anything else. But if you participate in this program and the tactics that you guys are using, so when the news person gets on TV and says the person says he was hearing voices and people were following him and this is linked directly to the program that you are participating in, hands down. No two ways about it. You cannot deny the fact that the same tactics that were used on that man that killed that 14-year-old were the same tactics that were used on the VTA, man. You cannot deny that. So, those people, they want to get out of this shit. Some of them enjoy it. They enjoy the money. Some of them, but there's a lot of fucking people that, they want to get out, but they just know they can't get out. And I see that every day. Like every day I protest, especially when I protest at certain places and shit. I see, like, people fucking be telling me, like, right on, but they do it in a way to where, like, nobody fucking sees it. They do it real, they finesse it real good. So, there are fucking people that, I'm working like a voice in some way, in some ways, I'm working like a voice for some of these fucking people out here, man. It's like I'm a voice that they can't use, and I'm okay with that. That's the type. I'll be that type of slave. Like I'll be that, especially like shit. I'll be that slave. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck about that type of shit. But you ain't gonna fucking get me to kill nobody or kill myself. You might get somebody to get hurt, like, really bad. Like, really, really fucking bad. But those aren't my plans. And to the best of my ability, I'm gonna try and de-escalate in my mind, whatever I'm thinking of doing, I'm gonna try my best to de-escalate within before I make any decision. But that's just, I'm only human, and I'm not gonna be unrealistic about it, the way these fucking people do what they do. That's the scary thing, man. The scary thing is the police literally running around conducting programs that force people's hands, man. Like, how in the fuck can you be an officer of the law, yet you're conducting people to participate in shit that can get them killed, that could get fucking the people that they're fucking harassing killed, that could shoot, that could, move the person that they're harassing to kill other people and then themselves. Not only that, but the general public. They're the ones most in fucking danger because they don't know what the fuck is going on for the ones that don't participate. The general public, like, man, I feel really, really bad because the general public is being deceived. The general public is seriously being deceived, man. The police tell them they're cleaning up the streets, yet they're cleaning up the streets, all right. They're cleaning up the streets of people. They're wiping people off the streets, like, and it ain't no fucking just jail time. Like, they're literally taking souls off the planet. and they live to do it another day with a smile on it. Not live, but they're able to do it another day with a smile on their face. Every day, like the psychological fucking bullshit they put me through, and the anger, like, you know, the just, I won't say anger, but the frustration and irritation of just fucking, you know, they do this fucking bullshit and give you that fucking smirk and shit like they're untouchable fucking, you know, they're just this fucking untouchable clique. Like, you can't fuck with them, like a bunch of fucking cowards, man. A bunch of fucking people that, you know, if this program never existed, these are the same fucking people. If you walk by their vehicle, you'll hear this shit. Fucking locking their fucking doors and fucking locking their doors and shit, yet, you know, because they can, they're running around fucking causing all this fucking mental anguish to people. So much to a point that they're forcing them to suicide and murder. Not only that, and I love all people, all nationalities. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't discriminate on anything. None of that shit. But I do point out facts, and, you know, there are a lot of fucking people who come here to escape oppression. You know, and you know, they have strikes on both sides of the fence. They come out here to escape oppression. They come out here to escape all the fucking inhumane shit that is being done to them. And, you know, it's because of the people. It's because of us that they're here. Like, a lot of us, like, we voted that shit in. Like, we're okay with that. Like, you know, when they're going through problems and shit out there, like, we welcome them in. For some reason, they turned Haiti back, but, you know, that's probably one of the only countries that they fucking turned back that I know of. Like, you know. So, for those very same people to come here for escaping oppression, and I remember because I used to go to fucking, like, I used to be in and out of group homes, and I've been through so many fucking group homes, it's crazy, and every fucking group home that I've been in, they used to take us to those little clinics and shit, because we had to fucking, you know, we had to make sure that we were safe to be in the fucking, you know, and then we had to have all our school shit straight and shit from when they put us in schools. And I remember, man, like, back then, I think that probably might have been the like, my childhood when I was a kid, or maybe before, but I remember there was a flow, you know, of Russian people and Chinese people, like, in the clinics, like, all, like, like, the group home literally would probably be like, you know, all of us in the group home would probably be the only different nationalities. Like, it was like, you know, it was predominantly Russian and Asian. And like I said, that's no shot at anybody. Like, I love every fucking race, period. I'm putting that out there. So, you know, and, you know, I respect that. Like, if you gotta come out here to fucking escape fucking bullshit, and, you know, it can be fucking done, like, without fucking, you know, causing all types of fucking bullshit, controversy and shit. Like, I'm for it, man, but you know, I'm fucking totally against fuckers coming out here from different countries, man, and fucking terrorizing fucking us and shit. Like, especially like when we have their backs and everything. Like, you know, when fucking people started naming the pandemic after Chinese people, and we saw fucking old Chinese people getting beat up and shit. Like, you know, for the most part, a lot of us was like, man, that's fucked up, man. That shit ain't cool, man. Or when they started talking about building walls and shit, like, a lot of people thought that shit wasn't right and shit. It's not so much as the gesture of what the fuck they were, whatever the fuck they meant. It's the way they put it out there and the way they said shit. Like, that wasn't cool. Like, you know, pretty much a lot of us were against that shit, man. But, you know, and to know that shit, even that shit does something psychologically to you, to know you're against that type of shit, and the very same motherfuckers that are fucking, you know, were asking for sympathy and wanted everybody's sympathy. Those very same motherfuckers, man. You know, for me at least, they play the very they play the biggest part, you know, in my fucking psychological harassment, man. And when I think about it, you know, other than the fucking neighborhood watch and all the goofies and shit, most of my targeting is done by fucking foreigners. You know, it just so happens that, you know, the two races that I mentioned first happen to be the fucking biggest, the highest population. As far as my targeting, it's white, Latino, and Chinese. And then it's just crazy, man. Oh, that's crazy. But hey, we live to fight another day. We get a different understanding on life. We gain some survival tactics. And we practice every day to keep from going fucking crazy. Like, we can be, like, we're definitely professionals at that. Keeping our cool and all that type of shit. Because at the rate that they harass us, and the way that they do it around the clock, sleep deprivation, all the psychological bullshit that goes around with it, like, you know, the way they do shit, you lucky if you don't end up sleepwalking and killing motherfuckers. Like, you just, you know, you don't know the way they do it, man. So, all that to say, man, it should be a whole, like, there's a lot of fucking lucky perps out here. There should be a whole lot more of them dead. You know, statistically speaking, they should be laying all over. They should be littering the fucking streets. And I'm not just talking about perps. I'm talking about innocent people. I'm talking about innocent people. All that shit. Like, the psychological warfare that they put us through. And then, you know, not only do they put us through it, but we have to fucking watch them fucking sweep it under the rug and make it look like it ain't even what it is. and then call one of the fallen targets, whether they've been arrested or fucking killed, crazy or a monster and shit. Which, it might not have been the right fucking choice, but it's a choice you can't blame that person for. If you get locked up and they determine that you've been fucking, you've had mental trauma and shit, which we all, at the very least, have some type of fucking trauma. And they discover you don't go to fucking jail. You go to jail for probably 2 or 3 weeks until you see your fucking people. Like, I'm talking about like parolees, like prisoners and shit. Like, you wait 2 weeks until you see your fucking board people or whatever, and then you go straight to the fucking like a fucking club and shit, like a fucking beach club. Well, not a beach club, but a beach club for prisoners and shit. Everything's fucking co-ed. You can walk around freely and fucking no cells or none of that shit. It's just like a fucking hospital setting. You can walk outside whenever you want, smoke cigarettes whenever you want. The lady that fucking stabbed me, that's where she fucking went. She went to her little fucking country club for 6 months, and then got back out and they fucking stuck her in one of these Victorian houses, and fucking getting all her fucking SSI money and all the money she's supposed to get, like for her food and shit. They just fucking they do the mentally ill people. They're like fucking slumlords. The people that take care of these mentally ill people in their Victorian houses and shit, they just rent out all the fucking rooms to them. The families don't want them. They put them in there. They take all the SSI money, the money they're supposed to get for food and all that shit. They get like a weekly allowance of fucking $5 or $6 or whatever. And they just fucking, they slumlord that shit, pocket all the rest of that bullshit. Because the person don't ever know when they're fucking, like, by the time they get the next check, they've only received fucking what? $24 at the end of the month. By the time, they get so fucking doped up and shit, like, they don't care about that fucking money. Like, they're all fucking doped up off of fucking medical drugs and shit, like the real shit. Like, they're not even there. That $6 is like fucking, that's all their fucking bubble gum and whatever the fuck else they buy with that shit. Like, that's all they do is keep them doped up and pocket their fucking money and shit. So they don't give a fuck what they do. They use them and shit. Like, I'm not even mad at the lady who stabbed me and shit. Like, I literally know that lady was fucking crazy and shit. Just like they convinced that lady to stab me, they convinced that other little mentally ill dude to wear dresses and shit. Like, I don't get mad when that dude targets me. I used to call him my little buddy, but, I quit doing that, man, because they started targeting me harder with him and shit. Like, it's like they literally try and make me do something. I would never fucking do something to that dude, man. He's just like, I know for a fact if he's gonna let you guys dress him up in dresses and shit, if he lets you guys do that, then what the fuck? What the fuck? I would just be a total, that's bully shit. Like, that's, it might not even be bully if you get the right target and shit. Like I said, you can't blame a target for what they do, man, because it's something that's not their character. You're bringing this out of their subconscious. You're bringing you're forcing their hand and shit. So, if somebody was to do, even though I would never do something to that little guy, I can't fault anybody who would, that's been targeted for, even if you know the program, even if you know it's the bad thing to do. You know, whatever all it takes is a trigger. All it takes is a trigger, aggression, frequency, and the wrong side of the bed to wake up on. And that monster comes out. And then I can guarantee you after that man killed those 8 people, actually he killed himself right afterwards, so he probably didn't. But, a lot of us that end up having to defend ourselves for these people, like, after the act, like, we sincerely probably feel bad. Like, I know, like, when the dude triggered me when my radiator busted and shit and all that, even though I knew it was a perp, when I sat and thought about it, and the way they probably, they probably lured him to doing that shit, had him blackmailed into doing it or whatever. Like, I legitimately felt bad about that shit, man. Like, honestly, like, felt bad. And I knew he was perping me. I knew he was fucking perping me. It was undeniable. You see fucking water and shit coming out my split radiator. You see my tires flat. First you come tell me my tires flat. I obviously see my tires fucking flat. So I ignore you, and then I, get the fucking radiator cooling, and I'm trying to fucking put coolant in my car while fucking the shit is just spraying out the cracks in the radiator. I'm at the fucking tire pump trying to put air in my fucking tire, and you're asking me if I can take you way across town to fucking Melpitas and shit. Like, it's undeniable fucking bullshit that you're running me through. But, as I sat and thought about that shit, I just felt bad. Like, they put him up to it. They had to put him up to it. All types of shit was running through my head, man. I thought I was fucking, I was ready to fucking, before the action, before I did it, I was like, fuck it, man. I didn't want to do it. I knew it was wrong, but I was willing to go to jail and fight the shit, man. But, after that, I thought about it and I felt bad. So, a lot of us, man, don't want to do the shit that they're forcing us to do. And when we reach out for help, I'm sorry, on the comments, it's kind of, I'll get to y'all comments, but when we reach out for help and they sit there and they placate us and fucking bullshit us over the phones, and we know, like, there's no way, like, once the police start deterring you from making police reports, or, gaslight you, and just letting you know that your calls or your cries for help are worthless. Once they do that, you have no other choice but to protect yourself. Protect your sanity. Like, I can guarantee you, and they won't mention this, I guarantee you they won't mention this. Every targeted individual that's ever fucking been arrested, that has lived through whatever they've done, whether it's killed people, assaulted people, I can guarantee that every single one of them have made at least 5 fucking different phone calls to the police department seeking help. I can guarantee you at least 5 phone calls, and if they go on those phone call records, I can guarantee you every single phone call was a bullshit placate or gaslight. The police gaslighting them, laughing at them, asking them questions that they don't ask normal people who make police reports. But they'll never release those fucking phone records. or they'll never mention them. Maybe if you can get you a lawyer that can pull them. And like that's the shit that I hope for. Like that's the shit like you know, if I ever get locked up, like that's the shit I want to be able to point out how many times I reached out for help. How many times they were playing games on the fucking phone when I called. Like that's, you know, always keep a record of your phone calls when you call the police. Always keep that shit jotted down, because that's like evidence in itself. And I don't know why nobody thinks about that. Like police phone calls record. Like you know, you see that shit. You see that shit all the time on fucking, you know, 48 Hours or some shit like that, where they replay the fucking police calls and shit. So those fucking phone calls record, man. That's a part of your evidence. If they want to play games with you and hide the police reports and shit, fucking go back and get the phone records and shit. And I can guarantee you, a lot of those fucking people, they were offered cuckoo medicine. Because I'm only saying what I went through. And it was damn near all the fucking phone calls I went through. You know, it was all asking me if I was on some cuckoo medicine, not in those words. But, you know, they were asking me if I was on medication, on drugs. Do I feel like hurting myself? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I'm just saying people are following me with one headlight, man. And I'm not saying I'm being gang stalked. I'm not saying none of that shit. I'm saying it's shit like it's a cult. I'm being harassed by like a cult of people. You know, I didn't put too much on it. I wanted to be clear. I never would fucking, you know, I didn't fucking try and put too much like the shit that I learned off YouTube or none of that shit. I didn't want to put, you know, I didn't want to put none of that. I just, you know, real short and simple. I'm being followed by a bunch of people with one headlights on their vehicle. I have the evidence. I can show it to you. I'm not lying. I have over 30 videos. You know, I tell them that off top. I have over 30 different videos of people following me with one headlight. And as soon as I tell them I have 30 videos of people following me with one headlight, they ask me if I'm on fucking medication. What the fuck do you mean am I on medication? I just told you I got 30 videos. This is evidence right here that I have fucking 30 videos of fucking people. Then they say, do you know these people? And I'm like, no. No. First they say, do you know these people? I tell them I don't know the people. Then they ask me if I'm on medication. Then they ask me if I'm on medication. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, can you guys, you know, cause I got license plates and fucking evidence right here. Are you on medication? Do you want to hurt yourself? Why would these people want to follow you? Okay, if we come out there, we'll take the report, but would you be willing to take a psychological evaluation? It's like, motherfucker, dude, are you fucking serious, man? If the general public could hear these fucking phone calls, man. If the general public, because I've tried getting those fucking apps and shit to where you can record the police calls and shit, but, you know, for some reason, those apps are blocked. Like, you can't record, like, all the apps I've downloaded, the call recorders and shit, none of them record the police calls, and half of them don't even work, regardless of if it's the police call or not. You know, a lot of them just don't even fucking work, and the ones that do work, they don't work on the police. I don't know what the police got on their fucking shit to block that shit, but that shit don't work. But they keep phone calls and shit. You know, they have recorded phone calls. And if, you know, every time that I call, like, You know, they have to have the phone records because it's gonna seem pretty fishy. Because I got it written down, the dates and times. It's gonna sound pretty fishy that fucking all those dates and times they have no records of, you know, me calling them and shit, or no actual, you know, records. So, you know, it's little shit like that they do that they trap themselves, man. They trap themselves. It's just that we have our fucking minds so all over the place that on top of them trying to smear it into our face that, you know, nothing's gonna happen and all that shit. Like your evidence is for bullshit. Like it's not gonna work. Like we have enough evidence, man. But a lot of us just, you know, we're all locked into this cocoon, man. We're all in this fucking cocoon, man, which is all fucked up. Our minds are everywhere. A lot of us are in positions that, you know, it's kind of like we're being bullied. You know, for instance, what UK Awaken is going through with her doors being kicked in and shit. Like, you don't, you know, you want to be able to tell your story, but it's like you want to keep your job. You want to, you know, you want to stay in your house. You don't want to put your landlord under, you know, out there for harassing you and shit, because you know he's gonna fucking, you know, kick you out the house, or, you know, for whatever reasons and shit. It's hard for a lot of us to get our fucking stories and shit out there, man. And they know that. And that's why they try and rub it in our face. That's why every day I do this, like every day I fucking get on the thing, like if you notice, they try and hit me with the death, you know, the death threats and shit more. Like you'll see more vehicles and shit driving at night without their headlights on and shit. Or I'll get more and more fucking one headlights. Like they intimidate me and shit. Like even for like when I say it's Chinese terrorism now, when I've added that to it, like they send all the Chinese people to try and you know, entrap me and use it as a form of, like, you can say it's Chinese terrorism as all you want. As a matter of fact, we're gonna send more people, Chinese people, at you and shit. And you know, they want me to fucking be on. They want me to fucking go at the people when they want me to. But you know, I caught on to that. Like, you're not gonna control me to do that shit. I'm gonna protest when I want to protest, motherfucker. You're not gonna con me into protesting and shit. I just do it sitting in the fucking car all fucking day. Fucking park right here and go right there to that intersection with the fucking bullhorn and fucking be on it all day. Like, but that's when I want to, not because you think you're gonna make me do it, motherfucker. That's not you can't play that shit. It's almost like when a motherfucker wants you to shut up, he'll tell you to keep talking and shit. Keep talking. And it, that's that reverse psychology fucking bullshit. You can't do that shit over here. You can try. When you start letting them fucking control you to do it and shit, when it implemented, then it starts looking like you're the one harassing people and shit. Because they try and flood you with so many of them. You know, they want you to direct your conversation at the people. That's like whenever I got something to say to them, I always say it politely. You know, if I see, you know, I always let them know. Whether, no matter what nationality, I greet them respectfully, except the black people. Some of the black people get mad at. Some of the black people get mad at because there's no nice way to greet them and shit. I don't say American. I don't say I don't say American black man. I say American sellout. But When I agree, I do it in a non-aggressive way, and I let him know that I'm very afraid of him. I say I'm not doing nothing illegal, whatever nationality, whether it's American Chinese, American white, American Latino, American whatever the fuck. I'll say, hey, Mr. American Chinese man, I'm not doing nothing illegal. I'm just sitting in my van and I'm eating my sandwich or whatever. I always let them know respectfully, and I always do it on the bullhorn so everybody can fucking hear me. I say it on the bullhorn. I don't want nobody to think I'm being racist. If they choose to fucking complain on me, I want people around to hear how I said it. I said it politely, non-aggressively. That way when the police come, if they come, I could let them know I am very afraid of these people. They've been harassing me. I have evidence. I'm just letting them know I'm being a submissive citizen. And I'm afraid of these people, so I just want to let them know I'm not doing anything illegal. I don't want no Karens or, I don't want no type of fucking, and that's not directed at just, I'm just saying Karens for nosy people, period. I don't want no nosy fucking people in my fucking business thinking I'm doing something illegal. You guys fucking hunt me down all day and it's fucking legal. So I'm just being polite and let you know I'm not doing anything. Because I see you looking. I see you paying attention. So I'm responding. I'm responding peacefully. I hear you, Kiki. You're locked in, not me. I don't know if you're targeted, Kiki. I don't know if you're targeted or not. I'm not saying you're not, but I'm just saying it's not as easy as what you're saying. I understand that if we get tired, we need to fucking get out here and do something. That's for sure. Like I'm in total agreement with you, but the thing is, like, we can't. I mean, it's gonna take more than one of us. It's gonna take It's gonna take all of us. Like this. This is literally a group effort, man. This has gotta be like some. If we're gonna fucking, it can't be no straddling the fence. Like, we gotta pour into the fucking streets and let God guide us. I believe, like God has our backs in this, man. But, He's not gonna fucking, if we're not gonna fight for ourselves, like, He'll keep us protected. I believe He'll keep us protected, but, the thing is, we have to be willing to fight for ourselves. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. The Bible right there. It's written. We got to get out there and do the footwork. He has our back, but if we don't do the footwork, this is not shot at anybody and what you choose to do in your life. But you got to think. The homosexuals, for example. Do you know how much fucking people were against homosexuality and fucking, like, bullying. People were being bullied. Like, people who are gay, homosexuals, whatever they choose to be called, like, other different people have different names that they choose. And, they, the ones that fucking knew what they were early and fucking, were in high school and all that shit. I understand why they were killing themselves and shit. Like, they're literally fucking targeted individuals without being fucking targeted by fucking the government. Like, they're literally targeted by the citizens. Like, people don't get paid to target them. They just fucking target them. See them on the bus, target them. See them at school, target them. Playground, park, store, looking at them weird, fucking saying shit to them. So, they were targeted. Yeah, man, that's, you think about what we go through, man, and you think about what they went through. Like, they fought to get off of that type of shit. Like, they literally, they got powerful though. Oh shit, they got powerful, man. That's one thing I can say. Like, any person, any person that's homosexual that I can think of, like, they're in a good, like, whether it's fucking job field, or like they're in high positions, even in prison. Even in fucking prison, homosexuals have the best fucking jobs. They're out of their fucking cells. They can be out of their fucking cells all day. They fucking, the police fucking bring them fucking shit. Like, they built an empire. Like, they fucking let people bully them and built an empire while fucking people were bullying them. And they started pointing out shit, how, they got laws put in place because, there was suicides and shit at an all-time. Like, but they had to bring that shit to light, man. They had, they weren't gonna fucking, they weren't gonna fucking get nowhere doing videos and shit. That they would help each other and shit. But that's where we're at right now. That's pretty much where we're at, man. It's helping each other. And like, the videos is a good thing. I'm 100% for the videos, but we also have to understand that our videos don't reach out. Our videos don't reach out like the average fucking video. Like, you could put a race car video. Like, somebody could do a race car video, and I could do this video right now live. Or we do a fucking, I put up a video and some dude fucking puts up a race car video and shit. Like, his fucking video is gonna go probably all over the fucking world. Everybody that fucking pulls up YouTube is probably gonna see that video. Our videos are going to each other and just to like some probably, people are gonna look at that shit. People are like, like, we're all fucking psychologically fucking evaluated and shit. So they know what videos to send. Like, they know what people aren't gonna pay attention. They know what people are gonna pay attention and shit. So the videos are being directed. Our videos go to the fucking people who are get on here and call us crazy, or just some fucking person that'll call us conspiracy theorists and get on here and try and choke our fucking chicken and shit with bullshit. So, yeah, we're very limited in who we reach with our videos. And getting off this program, we ain't gonna be getting off this program making videos. So I'm with you 100% on that part, Kiki. It's just like some of us can't. Some of us can't. Or it's not that we can't, but we just like, we're solidified in certain situations that, we don't want to disrupt. But I'm to the point, you know, I think if we get out there, enough of us if we get some fucking bullhorns, nah, we would probably have to designate people, certain people, that way it wouldn't get too loud. Like, we wouldn't be, talking over each other with bullhorns and shit. But, if we went out there in groups, if we could establish a group in every city is, all the TIs within that city, maybe not all the TIs, but all the TIs willing to get out there, who are just, willing to fucking get out here and fucking do it, man. And understand that everybody can't do it. Like, that's the first thing we have to do, is understand that, and it's not their fault. It's not that they're scary or, it's not none of that shit. It's that, it's just some situations and shit you can't, people got children, people got families and shit they gotta, that they can't jeopardize. If you do anything for your family, this is anything. Going through this shit and having to deal with this is doing anything for your family. So, can't really knock anybody who doesn't want to put themselves out there. But for the people who do, if we can get out there in fucking groups, every city can form a group. And at the same time, like, we gotta be we gotta do it to a point to where it brings recognition, to where everybody's, every city, like, we're doing this at the same time. We're just in different cities and shit. Like, every city has to have, a good portion of us standing in front of their city halls and with fucking just, causing ruckus, if you will. Verbally, not physically. Verbal ruckus. Making the people listen to us, blocking them from fucking going inside, doing the shit legally, but, doing it. If we could do that, we might get somewhere. But, we have a long road ahead of us, man. We have a long road ahead of us. And who knows, man? If we're lucky, maybe this fucking Omicron or whatever it is will wipe half these motherfuckers out. Karma is a bitch. And even though that fucking shit might be man-made, don't think God doesn't know how to work it. Like, it might be man-made, but God can definitely control that shit. He can definitely direct it. So, and a lot of these people got hell to pay, man. A lot of these people are getting filthy fucking rich off of our misery and shit. And they know it. You know, especially the ones that believe in karma and the law of fucking, you know, what you give is what you get. Like they know they got some fucking shit to deal with. So maybe this Omicron is a good thing. Not that it, you know, it's killing people that we love and shit. So not good in that aspect. But maybe it's a good thing for this targeting and shit. Maybe we can wipe their fucking numbers down. Get their numbers down. Kids on the front line. See them in all black. I'm out here talking about them putting their kids on the front line, and this goofball walks with his driving as him and his fucking girlfriend in matching all black outfits. We all know all black is their color, so they already know that I identify people in all black with this fucking program. Yet they'll ride right after I talk about people putting their children on the front line. They'll ride right there in all black with the red baseball cap. Child on the fucking handlebars. All I have to do is fucking take a crowbar and throw it at that bike. And you know, it'll be over for that baby. Yet they want to fucking try and harass and trigger me. Like, do anything to get me mad. To drive me to that point. Like, does that, like, that don't, man, like, it don't make fucking sense. Like, why are you fucking, you see me talking about it on live, so you come perform the shit. When I'm saying, like, this is how blatant these people are. This is how they blatantly tell you that they don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. How, you know, basically daring you with their children, man. I could see you guys doing it, but to put your fucking child on the front line, man, that says a lot. And to do it with a smile on your face. Whether if I do it and I get beat the fuck up after I do it, like if you choose to beat me up afterwards, kill me, do anything, the fact still stands that if it wasn't for you rubbing or trying to taunt or trying to trigger me or trying to get me out of my character, that the fucking crowbar would have never hit the bike or your fucking kid. But you're willing to put your kid's life on the front line for whatever fucking, probably even just a pat on the back by the police. Whatever they give you. It just tells you what type of people these are, man. It shows you right there. Like they're willing to put their children on the front line for $1 bill. They're willing to do anything. And they definitely don't care about doing it to us.